If you want to work on strengthening your back, you're in the right place. We're going to go over 3 exercises to help with strengthening your back. This can help with back pain, this can help with back tightness, and also just to improve the stability of it. Now, your back is part of your core, and so I kind of use those two interchangeably throughout the video whenever I'm talking about your back. Let's get into the first one. So the first one is a carry. Now, carries, you don't necessarily think, oh, that's my back working. Well, it makes one side of your core, back and front, have to work so much, because I don't want you to do 2-hand carries. I want you to do a 1-arm carry. And this makes that one side have to stabilize and work. But you're also using the rest of your body to help you know how to keep yourself nice and upright. You're also using the stability of your shoulder blade, these areas that include in your back strength and your ability to use it. As you're doing your carries, you can do a couple different variations. One, you can just walk flat-footed for a time. Another one, you can walk on your toes and really get those calf muscles working a little bit more. You can also take really big steps and work on your balance with this. I love that one. It's one that people don't think of quite as much. And you can also do kind of a bottoms up 90-90 hold. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And that type of hold will help you with shoulder stability, and again, will make a lighter weight seem heavier, especially if you only have lighter weights at home. It's so important for you to understand and do this type of carry to help with you evening out side differences in your body. The next exercise can also be for rotation if you want to just do one side and then the other side, which I prefer. It's a bent over row. I prefer the bent over row versus putting your hand actually on a bench or another support, because your back has to work more. Your core has to work more. And if you're going to do the exercise, might as well get the most bang for your buck. Now, it's not going to help you to increase your weights quite as quickly, but for me, it's all about, are you seeing the differences in what other activities that you're doing? What are you feeling whenever you are actually doing the exercise? That to me is a bigger gain than, oh, I bumped up 5 pounds or I can do more now. It's function versus numbers in that. And that's coming from a gal who was an engineer turned PT. So I like numbers. But doing this bent over row, understanding your core control, your hip hinge, making sure your pelvis is in the right position for you to have your back supported but using. And then as you're pulling in that, you want to make sure that you're pulling with your shoulder blade, and so your shoulder drops back, not just with your elbow and your biceps. And so making sure that if this doesn't go back, that it needs to. We need to get that shoulder moving back, so it helps you to understand to actually use your shoulder blade muscles, which are part of your back muscles, and support them. Because that will help you to open up your chest and get those shoulder blades in a better position to be used for, again, function. Now, the next exercise. The next and final exercise is a hip thrust. It's where your back is raised and you are hip thrusting. And so what this does for you, if you can't raise your back as you're doing this, you can do it on the ground, and you can also load your hips with this. And what it does is it makes your core and your glutes have to work together. And so we worked on core and upper body shoulder stability for the first 2, again with some glutes in the bottom in the first one. But this one mainly focused on the lower part of the back and making sure that that's working. A deadlift also is a fantastic exercise, but I feel like it gets talked about a lot. And so the hip thrust and making sure that you are tightening up your trunk, you're tightening up your core, you are stabilizing with your back as you're bringing your hips up against load or not against load. That helps you to use your back, use your core in a way that supports the use of your glutes. And that's an extremely important thing for you to kind of put your money on when it comes to you being healthy and strong. As you're doing this, if you feel too much back stuff, that means that you're probably arching through your back, and your back is now being the mover instead of the stabilizer. In this, we want it to be the stabilizer. We want your hips to be the mover. And so as you're doing this, making sure that you're not arching and unarching your back, but it stays nice and stiff like a board. and that your hips are the predominant moving area. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I look at it, I answer, and I want to know if you have another back exercise that you particularly like to do. Cheers, y'all, and hit subscribe.